Right, so today I'm going to do a tier list of all the crops in FS25, and it's down to my personal preference. You may have a different preference, so let me know what your tier list would look like, but this is what mine would look like. So the first crop we're going to look at is chaff, and the only reason I'm putting it as a B tier crop is because the only purpose for chaff is to make silage, and silage is just like a cheat code for money that everybody jumps on just to make some money for the first initial year. I don't like that whatsoever, so it's a B tier crop for me. I don't really do chaff until I can afford to do it with a forager. Hay, I would probably put it as a B tier crop as well, because since they've created sort of the animal grazing thing as a base game feature, you don't really need to do hay at all unless you're doing horses. Horses are useless, so you can use it as sheep, but sheep eat from the pasture. You can just rotate the pastures and you're perfectly fine. So the only other use is TMR, which you can feed to your cows, so I'm just going to put it as a B tier crop because it's useless unless you're feeding cows. Then we've got silage, which I'm probably going to put as a B tier crop as well, because, I mean, silage is good, you can make a lot of money from it, but if you're not feeding cows, you're selling the silage, and you can make a ton more money making it as cow feeder. To make TMR, you can do 50-50 with hay and silage, so you can cut out the straw in the mineral feed. So yeah, that's the reason why it's a B tier crop. Wheat is probably an A tier crop. I definitely put it as an A tier crop because it's very versatile. It's like a staple for your starting farm. You can make money from that, as well as making flour. You can make chicken feed as well. So you've got 3 different opportunities for wheat. So yeah, wheat is definitely going there, and you can also like sort of streamline it into the bakery as well and make some bread, which can make you a ton of money every single year. And that's the reason why barley is probably going in there as well, because barley, you can make it as chicken feed, you can make it as flour, turn the flour into bread, or you can sell it directly. It's got a much higher yield than wheat, so it's going to go in A tier as well. Canola, I mean, there's not much you can say about canola. It's probably a C tier crop because it's got a high selling price, but it's got such a low yield that it's not worth doing it. So I'll probably put that on as a C tier crop because you can make oil out of it, which sells at a pretty high price. It's like a few thousand per 1,000 litres, but it's just, you get so little in return that it's not really worth doing. Oat, I will probably put it down as a D tier crop. I mean, oat's got a very, very, very high yield, but I mean, it's got no other purpose than flour or pig food. You can't do it much more than that. And pigs, you know what I always say about pigs? F pigs, they shit. Like literally f pigs, because they are shit, they just give you poo, that's all they do. And corn, I'll probably put it down as a D tier crop as well, because corn's got such a low selling price that it's not worth doing unless you're making chaff, and it's pig food, that's all you're going to get from it. So yeah, don't do corn unless you've got pigs, and don't do pigs because f pigs. Sunflowers, I'm probably going to put the same as canola because it's only got the same purpose. In fact, you know what, I'll probably put up to this one actually, because you can actually make a ton of chaff from from sunflowers, which you can't do with canola. You can make some chaff from canola, but not as much as sunflowers. They've got a similar limit to corn, but you can also make oil as well as sunflowers, because that's a crop. Soybeans, I'm probably going to put that as an S tier crop, because I mean, you don't get a great deal of yield from it, but it's a very, very, very good rotation crop. And if you do this in real life, it's very, very good at neutralising the ground. It doesn't require much fertiliser, if any fertiliser at all. And you get such a very good return on investment from soybeans that it's just such a good crop to have. I'd recommend everybody do soybeans for the next harvest. Potatoes, again, large investment but very high yield. So it's probably going to go at an S tier as well, because you get such a good return from investment from this. So if you sell the potatoes as they are, per hectare you're looking at like what, maybe 150,000 euros, depending on your economic difficulty. So you can make your money back within like the first 5 or 6 years. So definitely do potatoes. You can also process them further now and make potato chips. It's a shame you can't do fries. You know, add sunflower oil, potatoes, make some fries, that would be perfect. But yeah, potato chips with sunflowers makes a very good combination for money. So definitely do those two. So then we go on to rice, and I'll probably put both types of rice, both long grain and regular rice, as a C tier crop because they are so terrible. Like, the return on investment from rice is absolutely shocking. So, I mean, you know what, I'll probably put them down as a D tier crop as well. The news of the game, and it's exciting because it's a different way of farming, which is why I was convinced that it might be a C tier crop. But then I think about it, and they're absolutely terrible. Like, don't do rice because, yeah, it's fun doing a different approach to farming, but again, you don't make much money from rice, if any money from rice. But at least the equipment's cheap. Like, that's a good thing about rice, but you can only make flour out of rice. And you can make, like, rice boxes and stuff like that, so I suppose maybe that might bump them up to the C, but for now, they're staying at a D tier. Sugar beets. I mean, it's the most profitable crop on the map, on the game even. So I'll probably put that as an S tier. Because yes, it's a very expensive investment into sugar beets, but you can cut them up, feed them to a VG and make a ton of money that way. Or you can cut them up and keep them as they are, and put it into a sugar mill and make a ton of money through sugar. And you can also use them as pig food like you can with potatoes, so they're very, very versatile. You've got 4 different opportunities for sugar beets. So yeah, they're definitely an S tier crop. Sugarcane, on the other hand, I'll probably put that as an A tier crop, only because the harvester that you get and the planting equipment that you get and the trailers that you get are absolutely shocking for the yield that you get from these things. So yeah, they're definitely going A tier. Like, it's a very, very big investment, and you get such a large capacity as a return, and you can turn it into sugar, which makes you a ton of money. But again, it's not really worth it, because just to do like a hectare, it'll probably take like 4 or 5 hours. Cotton, definitely a C tier crop. It's like $1 million to invest in cotton, and you don't get a great yield. So yeah, it's going into the D tier, into the C tier. I mean, you do get a lot of money for cotton, don't get me wrong, but like the yield that you get and you average out throughout the year, you probably get more money from wheat through the chickens than you would from your cotton. So definitely don't do cotton, just do wheat. Sorghum, again, I'll probably put that one as a C tier. It's no good other than pig food or flour. It's not very versatile, not a very good selling price. You get a high yield, but it's absolutely useless other than doing it for them things. Grapes, I'll probably put as a D tier crop, because, I mean, it's not got the highest investment price range, but the yield and the amount of work that you have to put in them, it's absolutely shocking. And I'll probably put grapes in the same tier as them as well, because they're just absolutely ridiculous for what they give you. They give you absolutely nothing in return. Poplars a tough one, actually, because I do love it. I love doing poplar trees, but they take 2.5 years, so it's probably going to go down to a C tier, just because it takes 2.5 years to grow. But you do make a ton of wood chips, or you can just bale them up and sell them onto a biogas plant heater thing, and you can make a ton of money through wood chips. And poplar is a very good method if you've got a good economy for wood chips on that map. Red beets. Where would I put red beets? I mean, I'll put them as a B tier crop, because they're absolutely useless other than preserve food, soup, as well as the crop itself. But then again, they do sell quite well, so I'll probably bump that up to an A tier. And I'll probably do the same thing for all vegetable crops. So red beets, carrots and parsnips, they probably all belong in this tier. Green beans, I'll probably put down as a D tier crop, because they're absolutely useless. They're good as preserved food, but other than that, they're just rubbish. But I'd say I'll probably put peas as a C tier crop, because you get a higher yield, but you only get like 8,000 litres, but the actual crop value is like €3,500 per 1,000 litres on a normal economy, which makes them much better than green beans. Spinach is definitely an S tier crop. I love spinach. I mean, to eat it as well, it's very, very good, very healthy, but it's regenerative. So even if you've harvested, as long as you weed it and you fertilise it, then you've got a very, very good year-round crop, and you can just harvest it whenever you feel necessary. Grass, I'll probably put that as an A tier crop, because grass is a very versatile crop, because you can do so much with grass. You can turn it into grass, you can turn it into hay, you can turn it into silage, you can do all kinds of rubbish with grass, and you can feed every single animal apart from pigs, but fuck pigs. You can feed every animal for doing the grass crop. So yeah, definitely do grass. And then straw is more of a byproduct of a crop rather than the actual crop itself, so I don't know why it's in the list, but I'll probably put that down as a D tier thing as well, because it's got absolutely no purpose in anything, to be honest. I mean, I suppose you could use it as bedding as well as bulk in your TMR, but it's got absolutely no purpose, because you don't need it in TMR. You could just do 50-50 silage and hay, but you can make it cheaper by throwing some straw in it. But the only purpose that straw has is making a bedding for pigs as well as cows, which can make you some manure. Manures are very, very good for fertiliser. So with that logic, I'll probably just bump it over to a C tier. But yeah, this is what my tier list looks like. Let me know what your tier list would look like, because I'm really, really interested in that. and this is what I see as like the most important crop. So I'll probably put wheat probably a bit higher, but it's a very, very good initial crop. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you all in the comment section. And as always, if you've liked the video, just like it. If you want to subscribe, and if you want to really help me out, then why not follow the link in the description and use my partner code